Hello and welcome everybody. It's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm here with the Savvy Sagittarius July Horoscope. Well, it's a bit of an interesting month coming up. It's on the quieter side as things go because we have had a bit of a rip-roaring May and June wasn't so bad. But there's not much happening except for a supermoon in Capricorn in your second house of personal finances, possessions and the things that you value. So that could give a little bit of a shake-up in these areas, sort of encouraging you to, get organised with your money. There's no new eclipses, there's no new retrogrades in July. We did have Neptune going retrograde on the 26th of June. Saturn and Pluto are already retrograde. They're in the background. You probably won't notice those very much at all. Okay, so just to briefly explain what I do, I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you, and then we'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. And if you are new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Thank you very much. Let's go to the board and have a look at these 2 cards. Alrighty. Okay, that's your horoscope and we'll look at that in a moment. The first card, or the first half of the month, let's see. I've got pearls and diamonds, so a lot of wise words, pearls of wisdom coming out of your mouth, or you might even hear wise words from somebody as well. Diamonds, clarity, bring clarity. Usually after a sort of difficult time, you've had a bit of a shake-up and then the insight and awareness comes to you. This card, I don't know how many times it's come out in the last couple of weeks, but here it is again. The Hermit nearly flew out of the deck. And this is indicating you need some time alone to review your life and for self-reflection. You are the light of the world. And this is important because at some point you're going to share what you know. The wolf here is about study, learning, and sharing with the world as well. The teacher, the wolf is the great teacher. And they're all here on a mountaintop together. So it's been a bit of a challenge to get up to this point, to where you are. But now you can look out and congratulate yourself on how far you've come. Okay, more to go. Yes, definitely. Spending some time alone, away from devices, in the bush or near the beach or in nature somewhere will definitely help you. All right, let's look at the second half of the month now for you, Savvy Sagittarius. And what do I see? I'll pick the card first. I'll pick that one. All right, now closing my eyes. A little red car. Make sure you don't go too fast. It could be that you've had your time alone and then you get more energy and then you tend to go a bit quick. Do be careful of speeding fines in the outside world, but it's probably more to do with your spiritual journey. You make good speed, good progress, and there's something also I'm getting about balancing the head and the heart. You seem to be able to balance all the different areas of your life better than before. The card that comes up is the 3 of Swords. This is to do with usually it's a relationship where there's been some sort of difficulty, and it doesn't mean that the relationship has broken up. It may have, but the card itself doesn't indicate that. But what it does indicate is that there's decisions that have been made something went wrong and you had to make some sort of decision. Maybe you cut something off. And you were firm and said, even though you might have felt weak, but there's been a decision made, and it could be any kind of relationship. It could be work, it could be a friend that you had to unfriend on Facebook. It happened to me the other day. I was very surprised. Someone I knew for a very long time, so there might be some sadness around that, but you're on your path, you see, Savvy Sag. You can't be held back, And especially with all of this energy here in your 9th house, that is really putting you forward out into the world and asking you to look at the big picture. And you can do that now because you've come far enough. So although it might be temporarily sad, it's actually good because it's telling you that you've moved forward, but maybe somebody you know hasn't. And they're staying stuck in the past and you're moving. You see, you just have to make your way forward. All right, let's have a look at this horoscope in depth. We'll put this like this and this so you can see properly. Now, we have a lot of activity over here on the western side of your zodiac chart, and this suggests that you're dealing with people in relationships. Okay, so relationships become more important to you than usual, and that's fine. It is called a royal chart because in the old days, you know, royal people had servants and maids doing everything for them. And they were reliant on those servants. So, of course, you don't have that. But it does mean that, you know, it's a reminder that your relationships are more important to you now. And people can help you as well. Okay, the supermoon here in your 2nd house, about your personal finances. It's things like looking after your money, for example. Maybe you need to buy something, but it might come on special too, or it could be that it's more expensive than you thought, and that's what the shake-up is, because sometimes the supermoon can bring quite a shake-up. A supermoon occurs when the moon is particularly close to the Earth. The moon is 16% brighter and 7% larger, I believe, and it's when it comes within 360,000 kilometres of the Earth, so it's much closer, and that affects us. It's like a full moon on steroids, so you'll probably feel it. Your ruler, Jupiter, is here in your 5th house, enlarging your creativity, expanding opportunities for leisure and pleasure. You live closer to the world of the child. You could be having more to do with children in the outside world, or even more to do with your inner child. It's also great for romance if that's what you're looking for. Okay, now let's have a look at your horoscope in depth. The 1st of July sees Mars squaring Pluto. This is for all signs, and it's quite a Mars-heavy month in July, so we all have to be a little bit careful that, you know, we don't speak before we have our brain in gear, and that things don't just escape out of our mouths. Mars gives more energy, and that's a good thing, but also causes arguments sometimes, which isn't so good. You want to be in control of your life under this influence, so just make sure you don't push yourself too hard, because Mars will give you the energy to push. It's only appropriate when you're giving birth to push at certain times, not all the time. So you have to use some discernment to decide when to push, because it's like giving birth to a new project or a new business or a new stage in your life. We have the 3rd of July to the 20th of August. Mars moves into your 6th house here. This is about your everyday routine, your work, your health, your well-being, and you could be feeling quite fired up and you want to achieve a lot, and you can get a lot done at work. Do watch friction with co-workers, though, if you're working with other people. This is a time to take a deep breath and try not to be impatient. Maybe you don't feel like being a team player at the moment and you want to go alone and do the job yourself. That's fine. It is a great time to begin a new exercise regime or regimen, and just be careful you don't push your physical body too hard, like I did the other week. Jumped on the treadmill and thought I'd be fine. Then we have the 3rd of July to the 19th of July. Mercury in your 8th house, so it's moving from the 7th house into the 8th house, again indicating lots of communications around money, particularly shared resources or real estate or some sort of asset that you share with another person or an organisation, such as a loan with a bank, your superannuation or 401k, maybe inheritances. There's a lot of discussion around this, and it is a particularly busy month too, because we have Mercury in 3 houses, so you'll be across a lot of things this month, you know, from relationships to these shared resources. Intimacy is another thing you could be talking about, and then Mercury goes up here into your 9th house, which I'll come to in a moment. And so there's also it's a great time for taking care of business. There's also energy for discussions around business affairs. Then we have 13th of July, supermoon in Capricorn here in your 2nd house. Take care of your possessions, organise your finances, and just, you know, getting things in order. See what you can do to secure your valuables, and watch that you don't spend money on a whim or on impulse, especially on things that have more emotional than practical value, okay? 27th of June to the 1st of August sees Saturn trining Pluto. Okay, so everybody's got this this month, and it's basically giving you excellent mental concentration. Okay, you could be quite focused on reading, writing, researching and analysing things. You're more logical than usual perhaps. It's a great time for quiet sort of self-disciplined activities. So if you've got to study, for example, and there may be, you've got Saturn here, there might be some issue around study or communications here, but it is a good time for that. This energy will certainly help you study, and it's a good time for doing exams. If you need to do any exams, you're likely to have very good self-discipline at the moment, and your concentration's excellent. 16th of July to the 11th of August, Venus moves into your 8th house here, and this favours your financial or business affairs, because Venus looks after money as well as relationships and beauty. You could also meet a benefactor through your friends, or maybe in a social type of setting. And if you're looking for a loan or some sort of financial backing or emotional support, you'll probably get it now. Your intimate relationships are likely to be intensified, and either you or your partner are looking for a deeper union. 18th of July to the 3rd of August, Mercury moves into your 9th house here. It's a great time to take a journey or go on a mini vacation. Travel and exposure to new ideas or ways of thinking are appealing now. You could have more connections with people from other countries or with vastly different beliefs. It's a great time for your spirituality, or you might be having philosophical discussions with people. And it's time when you're thinking about the big picture rather than the mundane details of life. 18th of July to the 21st of July, Mars sextiles the Sun, giving you a lot of physical energy, and you can accomplish things more easily than usual. You know, if you go outside in the garden or something like that, just don't overdo it, because you'll be making progress, but yeah, shoveling and digging and fun things like that. Yeah, you don't want to hurt yourself in any way. Okay, there could also, because this energy gives you a lot of confidence, you could also be offered a leadership role, or something that you wanted to do, somebody wants to help you with it. 21st of July to the 22nd of August, the Sun moves into your 9th house, and it's time to expand your life now. Get out of the mundane details of life and soar into the sky of possibilities. You could become more interested in study, travel, or spirituality, and again, there's more contact with overseas connections. You realise that your life can be bigger than you thought, so it's time to take the big picture view of your life now, what your life can possibly be. Like, it brings a lot of potential, so that's exciting. 28th of July brings a new moon in Leo here. New starts, new beginnings around your travel, spirituality, or expanding your life. And you put things into perspective now and you see, hey, I can do so much more. So that's really exciting. 29th of July to the 1st of August, Mars conjuncts Uranus. Now, a lot of star signs have got this as well. It's a bit crazy because Mars gives you a lot of energy and Uranus can be quite unpredictable and a bit wild or rash. So don't jump into weird things and think, well, next week, I'll just wake up and I'll go to India today or something like that. I think a lot of Australians at the moment are trying to go overseas. I just heard on the news the wait to get a new passport, if your passport expired during COVID, is 3 months. For gosh, God, that's just, I just can't wrap my head around that, waiting 3 months for a passport. But this does give you a strong drive for freedom and independence, and you want absolute authority over your own life, which is fair enough. And so when you're dealing with other people, it doesn't have to be a drama or a trauma. You just go on and do your thing. Do research and think about it logically as well, so that you can put all the appropriate pieces in place. It doesn't mean that you won't do some of these crazy, unusual things because that makes life more exciting. It just means do whatever you need to do to research it first. To make sure that, it turns out for the best. Alrighty, so that is your horoscope. I hope that's useful for you. If it is, please leave a like, leave a comment or share on your socials. I would really appreciate that. If you're new, please think about subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell. Alrighty, have a wonderful month, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.